Hey, welcome or welcome back. Good to see you, although once again, you will not be seeing me. So this is Tellonym Mental Health Edition. So if talking about mental health or mental disorders triggers you, this is your trigger warning, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. So quick heads up, it is storming here in my area, so you may hear some thunder, you may hear some rain. I apologize. Consider it a bonus ASMR. So that's being said, let's go ahead and hop into some of these Tellonym questions about Amberlynn's mental health. First one. It's impossible to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, FYI. Amberlynn says, bipolar episodes cause lows, which are very bad depressive episodes. Yeah, so I did look this up, and you actually can't be diagnosed with both disorders at the same time. But with bipolar disorder, with the highs and lows, it either is a depression episode or it's like depression. I'm not exactly clear on that, but yeah. So whenever Amberlynn talks about depression and things like that, it's more than likely she's in a low with her bipolar disorder, probably because she's not taking her medicine like she's supposed to. And the next question says, this is in response to Amberlynn saying bipolar episodes cause lows. And this person says, could that be because you're not taking your medicine properly? Like I just said. And Amberlynn says, yes, but we are on day 3 and back on track with it. Well, good for you. Let's keep that going and not have another break in taking your medication. Jeez. Not trying to be a hater or anything, but talking about how you spent $400 in one go on lipsticks, but a month or so ago, sorry, I'm bad at timeliness. I think they mean timelines. Maybe. You were talking about how you were low on money. You're allowed to do whatever you want. I'm not trying to say that. It just comes off really bad on you, even as someone who likes you. Amberlynn says, it is clear you do not understand what being bipolar is like. So as much as I envy you, it also annoys me hearing things like this. I think it does annoy people to see Amberlynn spending a lot of money on things she doesn't need, but then saying that she doesn't have the money to pay for her outpatient therapy, or not that she didn't have the money, but that she needed to earn more income in order to pay for that, the extra bill. So I understand how frustrating it can be for people that make just like maybe a quarter of what Amberlynn makes in a month to see her spending all this money on stuff and then complaining about needing to earn more income. On the flip side, with Amberlynn's point of view, you know, she had a manic episode. I don't know if her girlfriend could help mitigate that by kind of being like, hey babe, let's find a different way to deal with this manic episode instead of, you know, just watching her spend $400 on lipstick or thousands of dollars on graphic novels. I know wifey wasn't there during that, but I mean, I don't know enough about bipolar disorder to know what can be done for that, because I know different people have different things they do when they're on a high, when they're on a manic episode. I know some people just like go crazy and clean everything, which I mean, I guess is a helpful side of it. Some people get really productive, and some people spend a lot of money. And Amberlynn is one of those that spends a lot of money. But other than taking her medication, I'm not exactly sure what she can do to kind of help keep those manic episodes in check when it comes to spending a lot of money. This person says, can we stop blaming everything on being bipolar? I suffer from that too, and I'm not that reckless. Amberlynn says, yikes. Everyone's symptoms are different, and they range from different severities. Be grateful you never were so manic that you did not spend that much money in one go on stupid lipsticks. You have no idea what you were talking about. Do some research or even talk to whoever diagnosed you with being bipolar about manic spending. Thanks, bye. Heart emojis. I think Amberlynn is being a little condescending in this response. I'm sure this person understands that everybody's manic episodes are different, and I'm not sure what this person suffers from when they are having a manic episode. But I do think, as far as I know, I don't have any mental disorders, so maybe I just don't understand some of these things. But when somebody blames everything they do on whatever mental disorder they have, like, oh, I have ADHD, oh, I'm bipolar, oh, I have this. People a lot of times will use things like that as an excuse to be an asshole or to do things and be like, oh, I have bipolar, or oh, I'm depressed. You know, it still doesn't give you the right to be a dick or to do stupid shit. You know what I mean? Especially whenever you have the medication, like Amberlyn does. I know a lot of people may not be able to afford the medication and they find other ways to cope with it. You know, having a mental disorder might be a reason for why you do things, but at the same time, you need to take ownership of your actions. And maybe I'm wrong for having that opinion, and maybe somebody can change my mind, but that's just my thought on that. Amber, that is not being bipolar. Your many mood swings are more attributable to ADHD, narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, etc. You are an ableist liar who doesn't understand what bipolar is. You are absolutely a horrible person to pretend you suffer from a disability just because you want attention. You are not bipolar and never have been. Amberlyn says, I literally have a psychiatrist that I've been seeing for almost 4 years monthly. I am bipolar, and that is why when I am taking my bipolar medicine, I am more stabilized. Bipolar runs in my family. Please don't undiagnose me to diagnose me with what you are diagnosing me with, telling me that I'm self-diagnosing. Like, you're kind of a mess. How many times can we use the word diagnosing in one sentence? So yeah, it does look like bipolar disorder is frequently inherited, with genetic factors accounting for approximately 80% of the cause of the condition. I'll put this up on the screen, what I just read. But I'm sure Amberlyn has been diagnosed with it. She does take medication. I think she takes Lamictal, which is a medication for bipolar disorder. I believe that's what she said before. Yeah, it's a mood stabilizer, and it can be used for treatment of bipolar disorder, also known as manic depression. I do also think Amberlyn does have ADHD, which she even said in some of her telonyms that her therapist or psychologist, I'm not sure which title, I'm sorry, did say that they think she has it, but she hasn't been tested. And she said before that she was going to be tested for it because it would explain a lot of things, like her starting things, getting excited about starting something new and planning and then not going through with it. Which sounds like me on some things. So maybe I should have myself tested and maybe get medicated. She does blame a lot of things on being bipolar. And she is a little condescending in this response too, though. Granted, the person that left the comment doesn't know Amber, and all we see is what's in the videos, even though we do see a lot and we can infer a lot. I think Amberlyn has a lot of issues, and I think she needs to take her medicine like she's supposed to and talk to her therapist more. Oh, I didn't click the see more on this one. But that's alright. We have the gist of it. You said in your video that buying those lipsticks was the second most crazy thing you've ever done besides buying the graphic novels. But now on here, once called out, you're backtracking and saying you've done much worse things during a manic episode. Girl, please make up your mind. Amberlyn says, spending $1,000 on Tord clothing isn't manic because that's more realistic than me spending hundreds of dollars on over 100 lipsticks at one time. Spending $6,000 on a shopping spree was shopping addiction, not mania. So yeah, I do know how it feels to buy because of mental shit. Like buying a lot of crap because I didn't have it as a child. It doesn't just have to be about my mania all the time. And honestly, sometimes I'm confused on the two. Is this mania, or am I just having fun, or am I having a shopping addiction moment? One time I spent over $1,000 on arcade coins. Mania or nah? One time I spent over $4,000 on a fucking app in a month because I was obsessed with the game, so the damn customer service or some bullshit contacted me through Facebook since my app was hooked through it, and they asked me if these purchases were valid. Ha ha ha. Manic or nah. One time I went on a shopping spree for someone else, and it was over $3,500. Mania or no? I spent over $300 at a Dollar Tree one time. A fucking Dollar Tree. Laughing crying emoji. Mania or no? I don't know. You know, maybe it was mania, but I stay in denial. So, I mean, people can have different rankings and how they consider things crazy. So I think sometimes people just look for things to call Amberlynn out on. All of these things that she listed could be one or the other. Now, one thing I do want to address is her line of buying a lot of crap because I didn't have it as a child. So there is this, I guess I'll say, phenomenon where when you grew up without having a lot of stuff, when you get older and if you have the means, then you will purchase it, and you might go overboard because you couldn't have it as a child and you wanted it because maybe your parents couldn't afford it. And there's also the side of why people don't get rid of things, because when you're poor and don't have a lot of money, you don't know if you'll be able to replace it, and you don't know if it might be useful. So let me give you a personal example. So growing up, we didn't have a lot. My mom was on Social Security disability. So I did have 2 older siblings, but they were 10 or 11ish and 9 years older than I am. I say were. Both of my siblings are both still alive. They are 11 years and 9 years older than I am. So by the time I was like 7, 8 years old, my brother and sister had both moved out of the house. So I was basically raised for like half of my childhood, more than half of my childhood, as an only child. My sister did move back home a few times, and we, so I did have her for part of it, but, and my brother would be home for summer from college, but besides the point, and we couldn't afford a lot of things. Like, I remember, I don't want to get emotional because my mom has passed away, and it's a little hard to talk about her sometimes, but, we had an Atari that I think my dad may have helped buy it. They bought it for my brother, but I kind of took it over whenever he went to college. I actually still have that Atari 2600. It's sitting in my living room. But I wanted a Nintendo Entertainment System, the original NES. So Mom saved and saved and saved for probably a year to buy me a Nintendo. And for the longest time, the only game I had was the Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt that came with it. I played the crap out of that. Now, this was back in like 1991 or something, or 1990, but now that I'm an adult and I have a job, I can buy what I want. I'll buy a video game system if I want it. I'll buy a Funko Pop or comic books. Do I need either of those things? No, I don't. But I like them, and so I buy them, and I'm able to. So, there's also the other side of it. People that don't grow up with a lot, when they get older, they kind of become minimalist, which sometimes I wish I had done. Because when I was packing to move, it was a huge pain in the ass. But I'm also very bad about getting rid of things sometimes. So that's something that I have to work on if I'm like, okay, do I need this? Instead of like, well, I might be able to use this later. It's a challenge for me as well. And there's also the phenomenon of like reusing things. Amberlynn doesn't do this, but like those of you that grew up in the 80s and the early 90s, you remember going to your grandparents' fridge or maybe your own fridge and having to look through 4 or 5 different butter tubs to find the actual butter, because one might have watermelon in it, one might have leftovers in it, you know, because they were good sturdy containers, so why throw them out if you could wash them and reuse them, right? Yeah, all of that long story to say that I kind of understand part of Amberlynn's issue when it comes to dealing with her childhood and some of these shopping issues she has as an adult. I don't know how much of what I said will be left in, so moving on to the next one. You do realize that your psychiatrist that you've been seeing for 4 years could be a quack, since he diagnosed you with 6 disorders on day 1, including both depression and bipolar, that you can't be diagnosed with together. I would say it's highly probable he is incompetent. Maybe you should see another one. Even if you don't take them often, it's good for you to take meds you're not supposed to. Oh, I'm sorry. Even if you don't take them often, it's not good for you to take meds you're not supposed to. Also saying, be grateful you never were so manic that whatever, to someone who really deals with being bipolar is not very empath of you. Amberlynn says, my psychologist also diagnosed me with being bipolar. This isn't some crazy thing. It's very common in my family. So I do remember whenever Amberlynn started talking to it, I don't know if it was the same psychologist, like, I think you have this and this and this and this in their first meeting. That may have been a different one, or it could have been the same one. I don't recall, and Amberlynn doesn't say. But I think Amberlynn really is bipolar, to be honest. But yeah, saying to someone, be grateful you were never so manic that you did that is a little insensitive, because you know, Amberlynn doesn't know what that person deals with when they're manic. So yeah, I think that was really insensitive of Amberlynn to do. And I think this is just another example of Amberlynn lashing out when someone hurts her feelings or she feels slighted. She will lash out at that person instead of internalizing what they've said, if it's constructive or not. So if she feels hurt, she will try to hurt that person back. This person says, love, you are not dumb. You're not. Seriously. Trauma does this to people. I have memory problems that are extremely similar to what you described. I have cognition problems that make learning, retention, and mental sharpness difficult to come by. And it's 100% because trauma literally changes the way the brain functions. You are not dumb. You're traumatized. But you're not alone. There are many of us, sister. I support you. Amberlynn says, okay, I am crying. Crying emoji. Like, can this be fixed? It is so fucking exhausting. And honestly, I hate to say it, it's embarrassing. Mental illness shaming is strong around my internet circle, and it makes me sick. I hope nothing you see in the comments affects you, because I promise we are not broken. I know we aren't. It'll be okay. Saying this for the both of us. Heart emoji. So I think this person, what they're saying, I understand. But a lot of the things that Amberlynn does, I think she's playing stupid, like with the whole millimeter. What's milliliter? Trying to be cutesy with her girlfriend and saying words wrong. And some of it could be on purpose, some of it could not be. As far as the memory issues, that could be trauma related. A lot of people don't have a very good memory, whether it's trauma related or not. It could be a variety of issues. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think on that one? This person says, I am bipolar too. I get confused on if I'm manic or just feeling happiness finally after a depressive low. Those people who are picking apart your actions during mania/depression are pathetic. It doesn't make sense to those who aren't bipolar, and every person who is bipolar experiences it differently. I don't buy a whole bunch of stuff while manic, but I do obsess over organization and my space and limiting colors. That doesn't make either of us less bipolar than the other, or one of us not bipolar. People are ridiculous and pretend to come online as psychiatrists, and it's very damaging for you and those of us who do share the same mental illnesses. While invalidating you, they are also invalidating others who struggle in the same illness. I don't think that gets recognized enough. I hope you know you never need to defend your diagnoses, and that explaining something happened because of mania or depression doesn't mean you're making excuses. Amberlynn says, perfectly said, and 3 hand clapping emojis. I completely agree with this person. Everybody suffers from mental illnesses differently, and some people do tend to invalidate others, and I agree with this person, saying about people that are in Amberlynn's audience that suffer the same way might feel like they're being, invalidated and having their experiences shamed. The excuses and explaining something, so again, like I said earlier, I think a lot of people will use it as a crutch, and I think Amberlynn is one of those people, trying to give herself an excuse. Sometimes she'll come back and say, because of something, it wasn't okay that I did X, but it would be better if she recognized that in the time, but she doesn't. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with this person? So this person's responding to Amberlynn's last response, saying perfectly said, and this person says, why are we putting other people down? A lot of people aren't educated well on the topic of mental illness. Don't think we should be calling them pathetic. Amberlynn says, when I say that the reason why I do something is because it is a symptom of me being bipolar or me going through a very low period, and they continue to call me a liar and say that it is only because I am lazy, yeah, they are pathetic. It isn't about education. So again, here we have Amberlynn calling her audience names and generalizing people, which is the same thing she doesn't like have being done to her. So maybe they aren't educated on bipolar disorder, or they only know one person that has it and they're basing their knowledge on the disorder on that one person, and it doesn't match Amberlynn. Or maybe they're just being assholes, to be honest. A lot of people want to not believe anything Amberlynn says because of her history. So I think calling them pathetic is a little much, and that she shouldn't be putting them down, but maybe work on educating her audience members a little more and wording things better. I think that could solve a lot of Amberlynn's issues with her audience, is learning how to word things a little better. All right, that is all that we've got for this one. So what do you think of Amberlynn's bipolar disorder diagnosis? I don't know how long this one's going to be. It depends how much I cut out in the middle and how much I leave in of my personal stories. I may take them all out. So you may not hear any personal stories, so maybe one. I think that's all we've got for this one, and until next time, be safe and take care.